The following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score Breakdown Show presented by Hoop Ball. My name is Adrian Benjamins and I'm joined by Neil Rochlani. And this episode is brought to you by Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee Company. Get some delicious coffee, taste the Kona difference. Head over to hawaiianisles.com or Amazon. Neil, how are you doing, man?
Doing all right. A little tired this evening. Maybe not as tired as you. Trying to recover from all the illness out there. But I'm feeling a little sluggish. Hoping you can carry me through this one.
I will do my best, man. I shouldn't say me, I'm limping into the All-Star break, man. I could really use this All-Star break. Uh, I think I'm gonna come back from the All-Star break shot out of a cannon. And so I'm struggling a little bit too, man. I can't remember the last time I got a full night's sleep. It's been probably like 4 or 5 days of just super spotty sleep. My daughter's still sick, and it sucks, man. When little kids are sick, man, it is the worst. But I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, Neil. Everybody's getting
Mhm.
better, so man, it's gonna be brighter days are ahead.
I'm glad to hear it, and hopefully you guys will all be healthy for the break, so you can enjoy your little or time off here.
Yes.
Um, yeah, we're almost there. Just a couple more days. I think tomorrow will be a big one, and Thursday's pretty short, I believe, and then we'll be off. Any basketball thoughts before we begin on the box scores? I don't see any big news popping up.
I can't think of any big news either. Yeah, nothing major that I saw. So I don't know. Should we jump into it? We got a lighter slate of games tonight, only four. Or actually, there are 5 games tonight. Should we jump into it? I think it might be your turn to lead us, man.
I think so. All right. This one was not good for the Lakers. Going to Atlanta, thought this was one they could pick off here. But they fall 113 to 117. LeBron James back in there. I have no idea how this team chemistry is doing, but LeBron played 43 minutes. He went nuts, 28 points, 11 rebounds, 16 assists. And not shoot very efficiently, though, just 8 of 20 from the field, along with 3 3-pointers, 3 steals, a block. I think one of the main issues tonight was JaVale McGee only played 13 minutes, got in foul trouble, had 4 fouls. So I think that kind of messed up the rotation. Kuzma had a decent line, 19 points, but he also shot 8 of 20, had 5 rebounds and assists, a steal. Ingram, very similar line, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 7 of 14 from the field. Reggie Bullock, this is going to be interesting. Maybe it's just going to take time to incorporate him. Tonight, played 35 minutes, put up 11 shots, made 6 of them, knocked down 3 3-pointers and 2 steals and a block, along with 15 points, 5 rebounds, and an assist. Rondo played 34 minutes off the bench. Caldwell Pope, 25 minutes. So it looked like they really went to a lot of 3-point shooting tonight. I'm not really worried about McGee here. I just a foul trouble game. Bullock, still on my watch list. I'm not rushing to pick him up just yet. Other than that, I don't really see any changes here, except for I'm curious to see how the Lakers just play reality-wise down the stretch. You have any thoughts on the fantasy side?
Not pretty at all from the Los Angeles Lakers. They're having a tough time with the Atlanta Hawks, one of the worst teams in the NBA. So, man, I really hope that they can play better. I think the All-Star break is just what this team needs. Josh Hart getting ruled out till after the All-Star break. We're still missing Lonzo Ball as well. The biggest thing coming into this game, I wanted to see Reggie Bullock, and I think it's a really good sign that he got 35 minutes, took a lot of shots in this offense. Pretty decent line for his first game. Neil, in my home league, it is all Laker homers. So if you want to pick up a guy on the Lakers, you got to act fast. In fact, to be honest with you, most likely there's going to be a big bid on Reggie Bullock because everybody overvalues Lakers in my home league. So I probably won't be able to pick him up in my home league. One excuse me. One last thought. I want to see how Mike Muscala looks also in this offense. I think he could be a good fit for this team. I'm not too excited to pick him up because I just don't know how many minutes is he going to get, what's his role going to be, but I am just curious on how he can look on this team. So that's another thing that I want to watch. All right, I'm going to jump over to the Hawks, Neil. Trae Young, man, played fantastic. I saw a highlight of him nutmegging LeBron, throwing this pass between his legs. It was beautiful, man. Trae Young, this is a pretty good game, man. 22 points, 14 assists, a steal, a block. Did have 6 turnovers. Of course, shooting, of course, we know, field goal percentage could be an issue, but for the most part, I still like this line. 6 rebounds, 3 threes, 7 to 9 from the line. John Collins, he's the number 1 stud on this team. 22 points, 3 assists with 8 rebounds, 2 of 2 from downtown. He was 8 of 15 from the field, 4 of 5 from the line. What can you say about this guy? Man, I think there's going to be a time where we're drafting this guy pretty early. So future's bright for John Collins. Taurean Prince, man, this is nice to see. He has really disappointed me this season. I had extremely high expectations for him. I thought he was going to be a lock to be like a top 50 or 40 guy, and he just has not lived up to those expectations. But let's hope he can turn things around here. 17 points, a block, an assist, 6 rebounds, 4 threes on 6 of 14 shooting. It's a pretty good game from him. The disappointing game for me, Neil, Kevin Huerter, 5 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, 1 rebounds in 25 minutes. He only shot 2 of 7. He was 0 of 4 from downtown, 1 and 2 from the line. I own him in quite a few leagues. I'm going to keep him in my lineup. I hope this was just a bad game. I really do think he could have a nice last final stretch of the season. Deadman, man, really shocked this guy didn't get traded, but if you own him or if you have him on your team, you're probably pretty happy that he did not get moved. Tonight was okay. 12 points, a steal, a block, an assist, 5 rebounds, 4 of 8 from the field. Let's hope he has better days than this. Other than that, don't trust anyone else here. Bazemore, man. I mean, I was just talking about Prince having a disappointing season. Bazemore might be like the most disappointing guy on this team when you think of his expectations coming into the season. I mean, didn't get traded. It looks like he's locked into this bench role, only getting like a 15-minute role. You got to drop him, I think, in standard leagues. I would move on from him. Neil, what do you think of the Atlanta Hawks?
Yeah, Trae Young certainly put up a lot of great stats. The percentages do hurt him a bit in the turnovers. In terms of actual fantasy value this year, but I think he'll have a big leap second year, I'm expecting. And Kevin Huerter, I don't know what happened to him tonight. Just took 7 shots, like you said, did not produce any fantasy value tonight. Let's keep riding him though. I think he's going to be okay. And unfortunately, Bazemore, he looks like he's done unless there's an injury and they want to throw him in there. I don't even think they really want to win. So I'm not sure they're happy about this result. So I don't think Bazemore's going to play a lot of minutes down the stretch. All right, that's all I got. Should I head over to our second contest?
Yes, please.
All right, Orlando, New Orleans is what I have on my phone here. I've got 118-88, Orlando with the victory. Clicked the wrong button. Sorry about that. On the Orlando side, Jonathan Isaac. For people who held on, 3 blocks, 2 3-pointers, 4 of 4 from the line, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 7 of 18 from the field. Another solid fantasy night for him. Vucevic, 25 and 17, 3 assists on 10 of 18 shooting, including a 3-pointer and 2 steals. Very quiet night for DJ Augustine. This is one of the reasons why he's hard to own. Just 2 points on 1 of 3 shooting and decent assists, 6 assists, but not much else. to talk about tonight. Evan Fournier put up 22 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists on 7 of 16 shooting, including 3 3-pointers. And then Aaron Gordon, I forgot about him. 33 minutes, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. I'm not really taking much away from this. Isaac, obviously, if you held on to him, I think you should continue to ride him. I doubt you could trade him for his current value, and I think he's going to stay right here. That's really it. Augustine 140th on the year in 9-cat leagues, so I'm not really rushing to get him or dropping him if you have him. You need a low end point guard. He's not bad. He's just not great. And it looks like Orlando's trying to win because they won pretty comfortably tonight. Any thoughts on the Magic?
I am just happy that Jonathan Isaac has finally arrived. Welcome to the NBA season, Jonathan Isaac. You took a while to come around, man, but you were worth the wait. And my team could really use this guy, Neil. So I'm pretty happy to see him playing well. And that's pretty much it for the Magic from me. You covered everything. I'm going to jump over on the Pelicans. I'm really surprised to see Okafor get the start with Anthony Davis starting as well. I did not expect that. Them going with like a two big lineup, like a twin tower type lineup. So was interesting. Now Okafor didn't play too well, only 4 of 9 in 29 minutes with 8 points, 2 steals, and assists, 7 rebounds. But I think this bodes really well if you held on to Okafor, and I did in a couple leagues. This could be good. He could still hang on to some value here. So I would continue to hang on and see if he plays better in the next one. And, on the flip side of that, Anthony Davis getting the start. He did only get 24 minutes. This was a close game, right? So, oh no, I'm sorry. This was not a close game. This was a blowout. My bad. I was thinking of the Laker game. But Anthony Davis, 24 minutes. Neil, we said that this could happen when they said that he was going to play. If a game is a blowout, likely we're not going to see Anthony Davis. Maybe in back-to-backs, we're not going to see Anthony Davis. If Anthony Davis, if he gets a splinter in his finger during the game, we might see him gone for the game, right? So if you have Anthony Davis, it is somewhat of a buzzkill. His value's going to take a little hit, but what can you do, man? You got to play this guy because you know what? Even in 24 minutes, he could go bonkers still in 24 minutes. So you just got to keep this guy in your lineup and hope for the best. And so tonight, disappointing from Anthony Davis, only 3 points. 3 blocks, 6 rebounds, 1 of 9 from the field in 24 minutes. Let's hope that he's much better. Drew Holiday, I think he's fine. 16 points, 2 steals, a block, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 3, 7 of 15 shooting. He should be great. Moore, moving into the... Neil, I got to ask your opinion when I'm done here. Etuan Moore, moving into the starting lineup, having a pretty nice game here. 19 points, a block, an assist, 3 rebounds, 3 threes on 8 of 13 shooting. We see him have like outbursts like this, but we haven't really seen him do this consistently for like a long period of time. So he's now made my watch list. If he does this maybe again or in 2 more games, I think I might make a move on Etuan Moore. Williams also getting the start, only 2 points, a steal, 7 rebounds for him in 32 minutes. Off the bench, I don't trust any of these guys. I'm hoping Randall can come back here for the final stretch of the season and play well. He had 15 points, 2 blocks, 4 assists, 3 threes on 6 of 11 shooting. He's probably the guy that you want to own here coming off the bench. I'd even expect him to eventually maybe get the start over Okafor. I'm really surprised that they're starting Okafor. But also, Neil, maybe they're not even trying to win here. Maybe moving Okafor in the lineup over Randall. Maybe this is like them like doing their thing to tank. So let's see what happens. Neil, what do you think of the Pelicans?
Yeah, I was wondering if that was the case as well, if Okafor was just in there because not to say anything bad about him, but maybe it's because he doesn't help them win, so they have him in there. Davis, this is probably the worst fantasy line I've ever seen from him. just 3 points in 24 minutes, and took 9 attempts, only made one of them. It's crazy. I wonder what's going on with him, if this is just an anomaly or this is something more to come. So I'm kind of nervous about him. Nervous about this team down the stretch. Etwan Moore, like you said, he's okay, but I think he really thrives when the stars are playing well and he can kind of doesn't have to be the focal point. And if they shut Davis down, or if Davis starts playing fewer minutes, and Mirotic is already gone, and Randall stays in the second unit, then I'll worry about Etwan Moore's efficiency. But so far, it's been strong this year. That would be my hesitation on him. Other than that, this team, I think, is going to be a challenge going forward to predict, because I'm not sure where they're headed. They got crushed tonight at home by 30 points to an Orlando team that's not even much better than them. So if they are better than them. Any other thoughts before I go to, I think the one game I saw tonight, the Boston-Philadelphia?
Yeah, I watched some of that one too.
Yeah, great game. I saw some of the fourth quarter here. Boston holds on 112 to 109. Big night from Tatum, 20 points, 10 rebounds. He looked really good out there, 7 of 15 from the field, 5 of 5 from the line, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Horford had another monster game, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, doing everything, 4 steals, 3 3-pointers. Marcus Smart starting along with Marcus Morris. Both those guys had decent lines. Terry Rozier starting for the injured Irving. Did not really see crunch time minutes here. Played 31 minutes overall, though. 5 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. I thought he'd be a streamer when Irving was out. Tonight did not work. Hayward, though, is starting to pick up a bit. Tonight, he scored 26 points in 28 minutes. Very efficient. 8 of 11 from the field, 4 from the free throw line, 6 3-pointers on 7 attempts. So nice night from him. Nice night for Boston all around. Hayward, I think, is going to have some of these good games. I mean, currently overall, 9-cat leagues, he is 129. This is obviously much better than that line, and I think it gets a little bit better. But I don't know if he can get inside the top 100 by end of the season. Do you have any thoughts on what's he been up to, or any other players here in Boston?
Well, the main guy that I am thinking about is Jason Tatum, man. I read an interesting, I should have noted where I saw this, but on Twitter, somebody posted that Tatum said that he wouldn't mind being the head or the face of the franchise for the New Orleans Pelicans. And Neil, I salivate of the idea of Jason Tatum being the alpha dog, the number 1 option on the Pelicans if they somehow make a trade with the Celtics. I mean, Neil, how early would you draft Jason Tatum next year if Anthony Davis gets traded and Jason Tatum comes back as the number 1 option for the Pelicans? If Tatum doesn't need to share the load with Kyrie Irving and Al Horford and Gordon Hayward, I mean, how early would you take this guy, man?
Yeah, that's a good question, which you caught me off guard because I have no idea. Right now I'm looking at 56. I would say he goes probably in 3rd round, maybe. You think he goes higher than that?
Yeah, I was gonna say
It might be.
maybe the end of round 2. And the only reason why I say that is because, Neil, check this out. This is gonna convince you right here, man. Playing on this crowded Boston lineup, he's currently putting up 3rd round value in 9-cat leagues. He's currently number 30. Now, if you make him the number 1 option, I think he could go nuts, man. I think easy 2nd round value. But man, anyways, just interesting stuff. It's just been in the back of my mind. And then when I see him go off here tonight, it just man, what this guy can do as like the number 1 option would be ridiculous. All right. Kyrie Irving, I'm slightly worried about Kyrie Irving, Neil. History of injuries going way back to his days in college at Duke. So dealing with the knee injury, we're hearing it's not serious, but Man, I don't know, man. I'm a little bit nervous for Kyrie Irving here. So let's hope he gets some rest on the All Star break, although he is in the All Star game. But let's hope he gets some rest here at the break and comes back for the final stretch of the season. All right, I'm going to look in on the Philly side. Got to start with Embiid, who's just fantastic. 23 points, 14 rebounds, 2 blocks, 3 assists, 2 threes, 9 of 22 shooting from the field, 3 of 4 from the line. Uh, he's locked and loaded. Jimmy Butler having a pretty good game here. 22 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 7 of 10 from the free throw line, 1 3, 7 of 12 from the field. Pretty good game. Redick, Redick having a good game. 16 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 4 threes on 4 of 11 shooting. Perfect 4 of 4 from the line. Tobias Harris with a decent game here. 10 points with 8 rebounds, 2 assists. He put up a goose egg from 3-point range. If that 3-point shot was falling, this would be a much nicer line. Only shot 4 of 14. Ben Simmons putting up a game. 16 points, 2 steals, 5 assists, 7 of 9 from the field, 2 of 7 from the line. Neil, the Sixers doing their best Bucks impersonation by having 5 guys with a pretty good fantasy value. This is great. Off the bench, we don't trust anybody here. And then let's see. What do you think of the Sixers?
Yeah, this was it's curious to see Tobias Harris. This was a big game against a rival of theirs that they were all up for, and it really looks like he took a back seat. We know he's not a player who demands the ball or demands attention. Embiid is the opposite of that. Butler tends to want to can take over at times as well. Ben Simmons, because of his stat set, just can kind of fill up the number categories pretty easily. But Tobias Harris tonight, unfortunately, not a very good game. Missed all his 3-pointers, 0 of 6. Could have been a better line, but still, I have him pegged somewhere around 40 to 50, and I think it might even be worse than that. We'll see. We'll see if tonight's any indication. That's really it. I'm taking away from this. I thought this team was going to get the win tonight. I was surprised they fell short with Irving not there. Anyway, let's move on to the next game. San Antonio 108, Memphis 107. San Antonio gets the win on the road. Start with the Spurs here. Bertrand's still in the starting lineup. But let's start with Aldridge, 22 points, 11 rebounds. Solid night for him, had 4 blocks as well. Rudy Gay hit all the categories, 15 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 3-pointers, and a block. Bertrand's played 28 minutes, 17 points, 3 rebounds. He's in there for the injured White. Is it Derek White? Yes, right?
Yes.
I think. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm not having a very good night. Bryn Forbes alongside starts in the backcourt. 29 minutes, not too much fantasy value. I was really hoping he could take a step up with the absence of the backcourt. Just 9 points on 3 of 10 shooting. Not much else, except he did get 3 steals. DeRozan played 41 minutes, but still his fantasy value was not great tonight. Just 5 of 19 from the field. 12 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Patty Mills had a nice game off the bench. 27 minutes, 22 points, a rebound, 3 assists. The Spurs team just seems to be able to get it done, but fantasy value, we've got Aldridge and DeRozan. A little further back, Rudy Gay. Patty Mills might be an interesting streaming option as White continues to be out. I don't think he's going to be great. He is 77th in 8 category leagues over the last month. So there is some opportunity there. Let's see. It looks like White, I'm not sure exactly when he's coming back. I don't know if you have a date on him, but certainly it's going to be at least another week or two. Any thoughts on the San Antonio Spurs?
I believe we're going to see Derek White right after the All-Star break. At least that's my hope. I was able to actually pick him up in my home league, and he was playing really well before he got hurt. So I'm really hoping he comes back strong here for the final stretch of the season after the All-Star break. And other than that, man, not too much for me to add. Bertans is tempting, but I just don't trust it. You know, Neil, there was an interesting rumor on Twitter that Pau Gasol asked for a trade, but then it was posted later in the day that he denied it. He didn't ask for a trade. We didn't even see him. We're not even seeing him play right now. So I don't know. I'd love to go pick up Bertans, or, we thought that Jakob Poeltl was going to be a decent play, but I just don't trust anyone else other than DeRozan and Aldridge and Gay. All right. Going to move over to see what happened on the Grizzlies side, and I'm going to start with Avery Bradley. This guy, uh, he just made my watch list in some really deep leagues I play in. I might see if he's available. 33 points, a steal, 6 assists with 6 rebounds. He played 38 minutes, took 21 shots. He by far took the most shots out of anyone on this team. So I don't know what to think about this man. I don't know. I'm definitely going to put him on my watch list everywhere. In my really deep leagues, I might try to scoop him up just to see if this keeps going. Holiday, 11 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 3, 5 of 11. DeLon Wright getting the start for Mike Conley. I got kind of excited to see Wright unleashed, and somewhat of a letdown. Was only 2 of 9 from the field for 4 points, but I love how we filled it up in some of these other stats: a steal, a block, 6 assists with 8 rebounds. Still getting used to this new team. I don't know what his role is going to be when Mike Conley is healthy. Is he just Mike Conley's backup? If so, I don't think we need to pay any attention to DeLon Wright. Uh, I feel a little disappointed with JJJ tonight because, I have the highest expectations for this guy. 9 points, 1 block, 5 rebounds, 1 3 on 2 of 7 shooting from the field, 4 of 6 from the line. Keep him locked and loaded for the rest of season. I'm expecting a big blow up breakout from him for the final stretch. Rab getting the start. And, I really thought that Jonas Valanciunas was maybe going to get in the starting lineup. Maybe he still will eventually, but it sounds like, at least for now, Rab is going to get the start. He had an awful one in this one. Only 2 points in 11 minutes. And speaking of Valanciunas, I believe this was his first game for the Grizzlies, and looked really good. In 21 minutes, shot 9 of 11 for 23 points, had 10 rebounds and 2 assists. This is interesting. That I would, if Valanciunas is still sitting on your, is still available in your league, he might be worth a pickup. He's owned in all my leagues, and I'm really curious to see if he's eventually going to crack this starting lineup. We're still waiting for Kyle Anderson. We're hearing that Chandler Parsons could be back after the All-Star break. And I don't think Mike Conley is going to miss too much time here. Neil, what are your thoughts on the Memphis Grizzlies?
Yeah, holy moly, Avery Bradley, right? This is a crazy line. Conley's out, like you said. We still have Kyle Anderson out. Certainly worth a watch when every guy puts up 33 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. It's a pretty impressive line, and we know that in the past he's been able to have fantasy value, so it's not quite. I mean, it is unusual for sure, but it's not something that perhaps we should just completely throw away. So I will be watching him as well. As you mentioned, Jaren Jackson Jr. should be fine down the stretch, despite tonight's kind of lackluster performance. And Jonas Valanciunas, he looks really good. Yeah, pick him up if he somehow got dropped and no one scooped him up yet. I think he will be fine. Rest of season, not much else here on the Grizzlies. Like you said, well, DeLon Wright I was watching as well, and it may not get there this year. 34 minutes, no fantasy value tonight. All right, I think that is it for our games this evening. No, this is it for you for our games this evening, I should say.
All right.
You have to part ways.
I'm going to get out of here, you guys, but we will be back. Neil will be back for one more game, and we'll both be back tomorrow. And I'm expecting a nice slate of games for tomorrow, probably much bigger. I'm actually taking a quick look. Oh yeah, we got a full workload tomorrow, Neil. Whoa. We got our work cut out for us tomorrow. So we'll be back tomorrow. Stick around for one more game with Neil. Hit us up on Twitter, you guys, at Ball with Neil. I'm at Adrian Benjamins. I'll see you guys later.
All right, on to the last game of the evening. Golden State against the Utah Jazz. Nice win here for the Warriors, 115-108 on the Jazz side. Let's see. Ingles still has been struggling outside the home court. Just 2 attempts tonight. He did make both of them. So looking at that, it's a little frustrating for someone like me who owns him in at least one league. Rudy Gobert had a solid night, 13 points, 16 rebounds. Centers usually do very well against the Warriors, although Cousins is now in there for a lot of minutes, so we'll see if that holds up. The interesting thing is Gobert only took 5 shots, 4 or 5 from the field, 5 or 6 from the line. Had a block as well. Rubio had a solid night, 16 points, 6 assists. Donovan Mitchell is really he is their star, but tonight he just struggled from the field, 10 of 29 shooting. So with that, makes it hard for them to win. 25 points. He ended up with 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 3-pointers, but that low field goal percentage was a big hit. Not much else here to look at. Favors did play 25 minutes, 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. No changes. Based on tonight, Crowder, Royce O'Neal did get 28 minutes each. We'll mention that real briefly. Draymond Green, he's the one guy I'm worried about here with Cousins emerging. Tonight he had 6 points, which isn't too far off his normal output. The 7 rebounds, 6 assists, a little bit low. Did have 2 steals and 2 blocks. I think he may end up dropping around from where he was at the point before Cousins came in. Speaking of Cousins, pretty poor night shooting for him as well. 4 of 17 from the field. Did end up with 12 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. 1 3-pointer tonight and 2 steals. The other guys kind of held form. Kevin Durant, 28 points, 7 assists, 2 rebounds, an efficient 11 and 19 from the field, including a 3-pointer. Steph Curry, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. 8 and 19, 5 3-pointers, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Klay Thompson, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Had a finger injury, left, came back. We'll see if there's any long-term effects on that post All-Star break. 3 blocks for Thompson tonight. Iguodala, 28 minutes off the bench. So not much here. Cousins seems to be doing okay. Not great, not bad. Tough night shooting. Things would have been much better if he could have made 8 to 9 of these shots. Durant seems to be holding pretty well. Curry as well. It's just, I think Draymond is going to take a little hit. And Thompson, because he's mostly just a shooter, scorer from three-point land, won't have too much coming down, I don't believe. He won't be impacted too much from Cousins. And wrap it up there. Thanks again for listening to the box score breakdown for February 12th, 2019. We're again sponsored by Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee. You can find their coffee at hawaiianisles.com. Also at amazon.com. You can follow me on Twitter at ballwithneil. And we'll be back again tomorrow.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.